Hey everyone, Angelo is behindthevault.net. Today I want to tell you a story on how two parents set up their son for financial success in his 20s. Let's go behind the vault. All right, so here's how this story goes. A friend of mine told me about this about 10 years ago, and I thought it was fantastic. Absolutely something I'm going to use with my children, and I believe you should do it with yours. So here's how the story goes. They had one son, and he finished high school, told his parents, you know what, I'm not going to go to university. I'm not going to go to college. It's really not my thing. I'm going to go to work. And he got a job in construction. So what the parents did is they said, okay, no problem. We're going to set up the basement for you. We are going to, we'll cook, clean, laundry, all that stuff as normal, the lifestyle you're accustomed to. But what you're going to do is when you come home and you get your paycheck, you're going to hand over 75% of that paycheck to us. Now that 75% represents you having to rent a place or buy groceries, all the expenses that you're going to be accustomed to when you're living on your own. Now, when he was in school, in high school, and he was working, the parents would take 50% of his paycheck. And now that he's not going to school, they said, well, we're now going to take 75% of your paycheck. So he was like, yep, no problem. Here you go. And every 2 weeks, 75% of his paycheck got signed over to his parents. Well, what he was able to do on 25% of his income was he was still able to get a car, buy insurance, go out with his friends, and still have a normal, fun life in your 20s. Now, the interesting thing is that parents had the foresight to say, this kid's gonna make like 60, 70, 80 grand a year, money he's never really seen before. And we don't want him spending it on cars and clothes and girls and going out and going to the bar and just frivolously. So what they said to him, or what their mentality was, is he's gonna make a little bit more and have a little bit more. So he's still gonna be able to have fun, but he doesn't need all that money to have fun. Plus, it teaches him responsibility in the sense that, hey, listen, you're gonna go out and make 80 grand a year. It doesn't mean you're gonna be able to spend 80 grand a year on fun things that you wanna spend it on. Fast forward 10 years, he gets married. And on his wedding night, his parents come up to the table where, the bride and groom were and hand him an envelope. And he was like, oh, look, mom and dad got us a gift. And dad was like, we didn't get you anything. And he's like, well, what's in the envelope? All those years of 75% that you were giving us? Yeah, well, we socked it away and invested it for you. All right, you want to guess how much was in that envelope? Go ahead, take a moment. Comment below, actually. So go ahead and comment and put your guess in and see how close you are. There was over $800,000 in that envelope. The parents had socked away 75% of his paycheck, and 10 years later, he got a gift of $800,000. Now, with that $800,000, and this was 10 years ago, he bought a house, 2 cars for him and his wife, went on a sweet honeymoon, 28 years old, no mortgage, no car payments, 200 grand in the bank, ready to go. Not a bad start for a young couple. So think about it. If you're a parent and you've got teenage kids or young children, what's the best way to teach them about money? What's the best way to get them ready for adulthood? Well, I'll tell you, this is definitely something I'm going to do with my 3 kids, because they're going to start to earn money and learn how to manage that amount, no matter how big or small it is. They're going to learn from a young age. I still have responsibilities. There's stuff I need to pay for versus the stuff I want to pay for. Parents ask me all the time, how can I get my kids set up? How can I help them? The way you help them is you step in and you lead by example. And you say to them, listen, you're going to live here, there's going to be responsibility. Taking 75% of their paycheck and forcing them to live off 25%. And let's be frank, that 25% is more than enough for them to go out on the weekend, still afford a car, still afford the insurance for that, a cell phone, etc. So don't be afraid to step in and take control. And what a beautiful way these parents were able to set these kids up, how to live off a little bit less and still have a fun 20s, and then going into adulthood and the pressures of starting a family and a full-time job and a career and saving for retirement. Well, those kids got a leg up. What a great way to start. You've been behind the vault. All right, I know you liked that story, and I know it was an impactful one, and I know for most of you it was a bit of an aha moment. So smash that like button below. Here's where you subscribe, and yeah, there's our next video.